Welcome back to the Sort of Truth podcast, the alcohol-fueled, chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a severe lack of craft brew on the side. Where the hell is my beer? You can't record a podcast without beer. Am I right?
I mean, you're right. I agree. We're here.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. But my heart's not in it. I'm kidding. It is. I miss the beer.
I was like, oh shit, this isn't good for...
We shouldn't be doing this then. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade, and on this episode we are getting into chapter 12 of Blood of the Fold.
That's right, we are. Before we get into a chapter, though, I have an apology to make. So while I edited the last episode, I realized that out of nowhere, I started saying that Lunetta's name was Lunette. And it happened once, and I was like, oh shit, I said it wrong. Okay, well that sucks. And I moved on.
And I comforted you.
And you're like, it's fine, you only do it once.
No one's gonna notice.
No. And then, so like a minute later, I did it again. And then 30 seconds later, again.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 seconds later, again. And it was like really bad. And I continued to say Lunette for the rest of the episode. Holy shit, I'm sorry.
And it's not in the notes that way. Like, you were reading
it wasn't.
It in the notes correctly. You were just not saying the A.
My whole brain was off. I just got rid of it. And I noticed it the first time I listened to it. I was like, wait, that's wrong. Why did I say that? And then I just kept doing it.
I mean, I feel like it could be worse. I mean, you could be changing her name completely. You just dropped an A, and we do nicknames, so it's not that big of a deal, but it was. I know that you were annoyed.
Yeah. You know? Just saying.
This is a great start today, guys. We're...
batting 1,000. All right. Well, I just wanted to apologize for that. But with that out of the way, I think we can get into the chapter.
Okay, so this chapter opens with Tobias, Galtero, and Lunetta.
With an A.
Yes.
Definitely with an A.
Headed to the Confessor's Palace to meet the Lord Rahl. All the other dignitaries in the city are headed there too. They are not so much under the escort of the Daharans, like as far as it's not as much of a threat for the other dignitaries in the city.
They're all going willingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't argue, so they didn't have to get the threat from the Daharans about it. Lunetta looks real out of place with her rag dress. Everyone's kind of staring at her. She's scratching her arms, acting a little bit crazy, getting tons of stares.
Don't do meth, kids.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. No, it's not. That's not what's going on. But, I mean, it's one of those people where you look at it and you're like, oh, wow. Oof.
Well, especially in the middle of this crowd of people who, they all look very much not like that.
It's a whole diverse crowd of people, and yet this one person really sticks out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But her pretties keep her mind off the Keeper's taint.
Yeah.
So Tobias allows it. And I mean, fair. You don't want her thinking about that taint all day.
Oh, God. I was going to say it'll just keep her busy for right now, you know? Like when the kids are bored, you're like, here, eat some candy or something. Just, yeah. But yeah, keeping her mind off taint is probably high up on the priority list.
So when walking past the stinking dead Meriswith on those pikes, if you remember, that Richard ordered put out there, all the people are shocked and anxious and scared, just like Richard kind of wanted them to be. Like,
right.
Goal achieved.
Do you know who this is? This is fucking Vlad the Impaler.
Oh, yeah.
For the same reason.
Dracula?
He would put people on pikes outside of his castle to be fucking scary. Plus, he was up on a hill and, like, defensively, it was a good move. But, yeah, he put it up there for intimidation.
Yeah.
It's Richard the Impaler.
And all the people are, like, successfully feeling that way until the guards informed them that Lord Rahl took care of all these Meriswith. Like, they killed them all. Like, he killed them all to save us. So, it's cool.
Right. I just had one more thought. Gratula.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
So Tobias thinks it's super convenient that Lord Rawl showed up just in time to defeat the Merizwith. And I mean, to be fair, this is like a fair assessment. Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
We know what happened, but from anybody else's like viewpoint, he brought those things there in order to kill them. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it was all a setup, and obviously this guy's a phony. He's in charge, we know that, but yeah. Tobias, he's not a believer at this point.
Once they get into the palace, in the balcony, there's a ton of the common people, you know, all the people who've been outside yelling at the front gates of the palace. It's not normal for them to be inside at this type of function, because it's supposed to be like the highbrow people only. And the nobility is not happy about it, but they kind of let it go, because they're there to meet the Lord Rawl.
Peanut gallery, right? Wasn't that it? The poor people could go to the plays, but they couldn't afford like the niceties that they had for sale there, so they had peanuts. And those were like the cheap seats. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like I read that somewhere.
Well, no, I mean, it could be, but I think it's also about, like, and Richard kind of underlines this point a little bit, but Richard doesn't care about nobility versus the common folk. Like, he wants everybody to hear this message at the same time.
It's just the fact that they're there that the nobility is like, ooh, that's weird. Yeah, you shouldn't be.
We're supposed to go first, and then they're supposed to get announcements later, because they're not as important as us, but Richard doesn't view people in that way.
Everybody's the same.
Yeah. The nobility is also not super thrilled about the Blood of the Fold being there, apparently. They're all, like, kind of skirting them.
Without trying to look like they're skirting them.
Yeah.
Which is always super obvious, especially to guys like this. We know they're aware.
Yeah.
They're watching everybody. So they know exactly who's scared of them the second they walk into a room.
Yeah. But Tobias likes that. He likes to make people uncomfortable. So he's probably in his element right now.
Because he's little.
Yes. And to be fair, he's very awestruck himself by being in the palace, despite being repulsed by the palace. Like, he really hates this place, okay? It's the seat of evil and power in the Midlands.
It represents bad stuff.
Yeah. Yes. This place is the place the Keeper's tendrils spread from, according to him. This is like the seat of the power, and the Keeper has been orchestrating shit from that seat for so long that it's gross to him, but also he's kind of revered by it because it's like historical.
It's powerful. Yeah. So what you're saying is that the Keeper was like controlling the Mother Confessors in the Confessor's Palace.
Puppet master.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where all that took place. This is the ultimate baddie seat to him.
Yes. And
this
now
is boss level. He's here. Or he's visiting the level. He's not fighting the boss yet.
Right. And now all that's over, apparently. The magic is done. And soon this palace is going to be filled with crimson capes. And magic is going to be gonzo. So... Like, the Blood of the Fold is going to sit in those fucking chairs.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whole, it's a whole
kind of
thing.
like Game of Thrones, where he's in the throne room and he's like, yep, I want it. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And making plans.
So this lady strolls up to him. Her name is Duchess Lumholtz. She strikes up a convo with Tobias about how rude Rawl is for not giving them some drink. They're wandering around here. There's no fucking food to eat. There's no wine. This is some bullshit. And to be fair, I don't blame her. Like, I'm always down for some free food and wine.
I'm just saying, if somebody says, now nobody said anything about this, but if somebody's like, there will be pie and punch, and you show up, and there's no pie and punch, I'm leaving. That's just me. I guess, I don't know.
I think I would assume if I'm going to a palace, they're going to feed me. But, I mean, whatever.
What this lady is, she's expecting it to be a grand affair with, like, we're showing off our riches, and it's going to be a little party, and we're all getting together, and this is not one of those.
Yeah. This is not a fun thing, but they're all in that mood still. Everyone's like, cool, we're going to go meet this dude. Where the fuck's the wine?
But I like how Tobias is indifferent. He's like, yeah, whatever. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Get over it, lady.
She then brings up the Fold to him and how they're in Aidendrill, and that's weird because usually Aidendrill's always been like, hey, don't do your shit here. We don't like you.
Right.
And also how they fit in with the Order. The Order's like super fond of them. So like this is common knowledge to people that the Order holds the Fold in high regard. I think because of their like similar value systems.
The Order is doing it, quote-unquote, in service of the Creator, and so is the Fold.
Right.
So, yeah.
So at this point, Tobias gets a little snarky with her, and he's like, I don't know how you hear anything with how much you talk, bitch. And then the Daharan soldiers enter the room and effectively end the conversation right there.
Yeah, startle everybody quiet.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's happening. It's like when the lights go down in a movie theater. Oh, it's time.
Yeah. Except this is a lot more intimidating than that, because
well, I'm sure it got darker.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot of fucking soldiers, and people aren't used to this kind of show of force inside the palace. It's
Right.
usually a very peaceful place.
Right.
No weapons and shit. So they're like, what the fuck is happening?
It's a place for words.
Yeah.
Not fighting.
Yeah, diplomatic solutions.
Right.
Richard's apparently done with diplomatic solutions at this point, so he's like, soldiers, bitches.
He's letting them know.
Yeah. It's pretty clear to Toby. By the way, that's what we're calling him now.
Oh, Toby.
Yeah.
Well, we can shorten it because he's a short guy.
Ah, yeah.
Toby. So it works.
It works.
Toby.
That Lord Rawls' plan is to come in and make some demands, and he has a right to do that because the Daharans have done most of the work for the Order thus far. And he thinks this is just going to be awesome. He thinks Lord Rawls going to walk in here, make some fucking demands to everybody, and be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I'm in charge now. And so he's like, I just wish there was some popcorn here.
He's going to pull a half-baked.
Yeah. So Toby just wishes he could sit back and watch the show.
Right, because at this point, he's not aware that Richard is fucking Richard. And his grandpa is who he is. And they're the ones who are hiding the Mother Confessor that he's looking for. This is a guy who's just now in charge of the country that has been fucking pulling its weight for the Order.
Right.
So he just thinks he's going to slide in, make some demands, and then they're going to get along fine.
Yeah, and Toby doesn't really give a shit about the politics and stuff. Like, he strictly cares about rooting out the Stragonicha and the Keeper's Taint and all that shit. So he doesn't really care about all of that because he knows, like, they don't really care about the position. Like, he cares about power. He does.
Not that kind of power,
but,
though.
Yeah.
You can be in charge of the country. I'm going to be in charge of the people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not great.
The Daharan soldiers were followed by Lord Rawls' entourage. We know these guys. Each freaking the people out more than the last. Like, you get the personal guards, then you got the Mord Sith, and then you have fucking Gratch in the back. It's impressive when they walk in.
Fucking Gratch scared everybody, and even Toby, it made a point to say that even he was taken aback by him, because, like, even nobody fucks with a short-tailed Gar.
Yeah, and
that's not something you do. They're super aggro, too. So
yeah, and since the boundary came down, apparently Nick Abrisi has been having a lot of issue with the Gars, so they have a lot of history with these guys. Not Gratch, obviously.
He knows exactly how dangerous they are.
Right.
I'm doing a dangerous thing, and just by having Gratch in that room with all of those people would be terrifying.
Well, yeah, and I mean, even a chapter or two ago, Richard was like, Gratch hasn't been around people a whole lot. Hope this goes good.
When he's snapping at Sanderholt and be like, he's cool. I don't know why he's growling at you, but he'll be fine.
I hope he's comfortable around people and doesn't eat you. But Galtero also remembers Ulick and Egan from the street when they walk in. He leans over to Toby and he's like, hey man, I know those guys. I don't remember why, but I know them. Lunetta is immediately sent into overdrive. She's super upset at this point, like scratching the fuck out of her arms. She wants to go. Brogan just roughly grabs her, like very, very roughly. There's a whole bunch of people around you at the very least. Maybe tone it down a little bit.
Right.
But he tells her,
you're in public.
Yeah. He tells her to watch the Lord Rawl or he won't have use for her anymore. So yeah, he also threatens to, like, dispose of her. So
yeah.
He's such a great brother.
Now, this is the first time that Lunetta is close to Richard, right? This is the first time that they are in the same room together.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that her arms itching like fucking mad right now is because Richard just walked into the room.
And yeah, I'm sure that, like, the Mord Sith maybe have some aura of magic, and maybe Gratch does too, and, like, just the palace itself. But yeah, Richard would be humming with it, I would imagine.
Sets it off.
Yeah.
The fucking fire alarm just went off.
So, Richard is dramatically unveiled, just like